For a very long time, Nvidia's RTX 5090 was the king of graphics cards. No other card could beat it. It was the fastest graphics card you could buy anywhere in the world. But right now, something new has shown up that is making Nvidia very nervous. A new graphics card has been announced. People are saying it is 5 times faster than the RTX 5090. And the part that is really shocking everyone is that it also costs less money. If this turns out to be true, the whole world of gaming graphics cards is going to change in a very big way. To understand why this is such a huge deal, think about it this way. The RTX 5090 was already the most powerful card ever made for regular consumers. It could run any game at the highest settings. It could handle 4K gaming with no problems. It was the card that everyone wanted, but most people could not afford because it cost around $2,000. Now imagine something that is 5 times faster than that, and it costs less. That is not just a small improvement. That is a completely different level of performance that nobody was expecting to see so soon. This new card did not come from AMD or Intel, the companies that usually compete with Nvidia. It came from a company that was mostly known for making chips used in artificial intelligence work. That is a very important detail, and we will talk more about it later. For now, the main thing to understand is that a new player has stepped into the game and made a very bold claim. The question everyone is asking is whether that claim is actually real. Before we talk about the new card, it helps to understand why the RTX 5090 was such a big deal in the first place. Graphics cards are the parts inside your computer that draw everything you see on screen when you play a game. The better your graphics card is, the more beautiful and smooth your games look. The RTX 5090 was the best graphics card Nvidia had ever made when it came out. It used new technology that Nvidia had been working on for years. It had a huge number of processing parts inside it, all working together to draw game images as fast as possible. When reviewers tested the RTX 5090, it beat every other card in every test. Games that ran at lower frame rates on older cards ran perfectly smoothly on the 5090. Scenes that looked blurry or slow on other cards looked sharp and clear. For anyone who wanted the very best gaming experience and had the money to pay for it, the 5090 was the answer. The problem was always that most people simply could not afford it. $2,000 for a graphics card is more than many people spend on their entire computer. So the 5090 sat at the top of the market. Very powerful, very expensive, and not really within reach for most gamers. Nvidia knew this, and they were comfortable with it. They had a card for every budget, from affordable options all the way up to the 5090 for people with deep pockets. The 5090 made Nvidia look impressive and gave them something to point to as proof that they were the best. Nobody was threatening that position. Until now. The new graphics card that is causing all the excitement comes from a company that spent years making chips for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, needs a lot of computing power to work. When tech companies train AI systems, they need chips that can do many calculations at the same time, very quickly. The company behind this new GPU spent years building chips that were very good at exactly that kind of work. And it turns out that the skills needed to build a great AI chip are very similar to the skills needed to build a great graphics card. Think of it like this. Both AI computing and gaming graphics need to do millions of small calculations at the same time. A graphics card drawing a game frame needs to figure out the color and brightness of every single pixel on your screen, all at once. An AI chip processing data needs to run thousands of small math operations at the same time too. The jobs are different, but the kind of chip that does them well is surprisingly similar. So when this AI chip company decided to make a graphics card, they already had a lot of the knowledge they needed. The chip design they used for this new card is called a chiplet design. This is a way of building a chip that is different from how Nvidia and AMD usually do it. Nvidia makes one big chip and puts everything inside it. The chiplet approach takes multiple smaller chips and connects them together so they work as one. This is cheaper to make because small chips are easier to manufacture without errors than one giant chip. And when you connect many of them together, you can end up with a total amount of computing power that is bigger than what you could fit on one single chip. This is a big part of why the new card can claim such high performance numbers. Now let us talk about the claim that this card is 5 times faster than the RTX 5090. This number sounds almost impossible, and it is important to be honest about what it actually means. When a company says their product is 5 times faster, they are almost always talking about a specific test or a specific kind of work. They pick the tests where their product looks the best, and they use those numbers in their announcement. That does not mean the number is fake. It just means the full picture is more complicated. In this case, the 5 times faster claim seems to come from tests involving AI computing tasks and certain kinds of number processing that the new chip is specially designed to be good at. In those specific tests, the new card really does appear to be around 5 times better than the RTX 5090. Those are real results from real tests, but running AI tasks is different from running a video game. For For actual gaming, the difference is probably not 5 times. It might be 2 times faster or 3 times faster in different games and different situations. But here's the thing. Even if it is only 2 times faster than the RTX 5090 in real gaming, that is still incredible. The RTX 5090 is already the fastest gaming card ever made. A card that is twice as fast as the fastest card ever made would completely rewrite the record books. It would make the 5090 look like a mid-range card. So even with realistic expectations, rather than the best case numbers, this new card is something that the whole industry needs to take seriously. The price story is just as interesting as the performance story. The new card is reportedly priced at significantly less than the RTX 5090. Some reports suggest it could cost less than half the price of the 5090. If you can get roughly the same level of performance, or better for half the money, that changes everything. It means more people can afford powerful hardware. It means Nvidia can no longer charge a huge premium just because nothing else was fast enough to compete. It means the gaming community gets better options at better prices, which is something people have been asking for years. When the announcement went out, the reaction from gamers and tech people was a mix of 2 things. A lot of excitement and a good amount of caution. The excitement is easy to understand. Gamers have been frustrated for a long time. Every new generation of Nvidia cards seemed to cost more, while the improvement over the previous generation felt smaller. The RTX 5090 was powerful, but it felt like it was designed for rich people, not for regular gamers who just want to enjoy great games. The idea that something so much better and so much cheaper was coming felt like very good news. The caution came from experience. People in the tech world have seen many announcements that sounded amazing and then turned out to be less impressive in real life. Companies always show their best numbers in announcements. The real question is, what happens when independent reviewers get the card, install it in a normal computer, and run every game in their library on it? Sometimes, products that looked incredible in the announcement look very ordinary once real testing begins. People are not saying this new card is fake or bad. They are saying they want to wait for real testing before getting too excited. This is the right attitude to have. The 5 times faster number is eye-catching and exciting. But what matters most to a gamer is whether the card works well with the games they actually play, whether the software is good, and whether it holds up over time without problems. Those things cannot be judged from an announcement alone. One of the biggest real-world concerns about a new GPU from a company that has not made gaming cards before is the software. In the graphics card world, the software that runs the card is called a driver. Drivers are incredibly important. They are the programs that let your card talk to your computer and to every game you play. A bad driver can cause games to crash, show weird visual problems, run slower than they should, or not work at all. Good drivers come from years of work testing and fixing problems that real users find. Nvidia has been making graphics card drivers for decades. They have thousands of people working on them. When a new game comes out, Nvidia often releases a special driver update that makes that specific game run better on their cards. That kind of support takes a very long time to build. AMD has it too. Intel has been building it with their ARC cards, and it has gotten much better over time. A brand new company making their first gaming card starts from scratch with their drivers. The chip might be amazing, but if the driver is not good yet, the card will not perform well in real games. Early buyers might run into bugs and problems. Some games might not work correctly. This is not a reason to say the card will always be bad. It is a reason to wait a few months after launch before buying, so the company has time to fix the early problems that always exist when a new product first comes out. For Nvidia, this situation is genuinely uncomfortable. They have been the best in the market for so long that they started making decisions that felt more like a company that had no competition. Prices kept going up. VRAM on mainstream cards stayed lower than many people wanted. Marketing numbers relied heavily on AI features that not everyone could use. These are the decisions of a company that does not feel pressure from competitors. A real competitor changes that. When Nvidia looks at a card that is claiming 5 times the performance at half the price, they cannot just ignore it. If that card proves itself in real-world testing, Nvidia will lose customers. People who have bought Nvidia cards their whole lives will switch if the other option is genuinely better and cheaper. To stop that from happening, Nvidia will need to respond. That might mean new products sooner than planned. It might mean price cuts on existing cards. It might mean both. The history of the technology market shows us that when a powerful new competitor enters a space, the existing leader usually does one of 2 things. They step up and compete, making their products better and more affordable. Or they try to slow the new competitor down through other means, like exclusive deals with game developers. Gamers benefit most from the first option. Better products at better prices is the best outcome that competition can deliver. So, what does all of this mean for you right now? If you are thinking about buying a new graphics card in the next few months, this news is important. Here's the simple advice. Do not buy the RTX 5090 right now unless you absolutely need it today, and money is not a concern. If something 5 times faster and cheaper is really coming, paying $2,000 for the 5090 today would be a decision you regret very quickly. The value of the 5090 drops the moment a better and cheaper card becomes available. Wait for independent reviews. When real reviewers get this new card and test it in normal conditions with normal games, the real picture will become clear. Those reviews will tell you if the big claims hold up or if they were exaggerated. They will tell you if the drivers are good enough to use in everyday gaming. They will tell you which games work well and which ones have problems. That information is worth waiting for. Think about what you actually need. For most gamers, the very fastest card in the world is already more than they need. Even cards that are much more affordable than the 5090 can run games beautifully at 1080p and 1440p. The battle at the very top of the market between the most expensive cards matters because it pushes the whole market forward. But it does not mean you need the most expensive card to have a great time gaming. The RTX 5090 was the best for a while. It earned that title fairly. But the technology world moves fast and no product stays on top forever. A new challenger has appeared with very bold claims and a price that makes those claims even more interesting. Whether it fully delivers on everything it promises is something we will know soon enough when real testing happens. What is already clear is that the market is more interesting and more competitive than it has been in years. That is good news for everyone who plays games on a computer. Competition brings better products. Better products at lower prices means more people can enjoy great gaming experiences. The king of graphics cards is being challenged. And the people who benefit most from that challenge are the everyday gamers who just want to play great games without spending all their money to do it. The next few months are going to be very exciting in the world of graphics cards. Stay informed, be patient, and let the competition work in your favor.